Now, India has been the largest troop contributor to the United Nations peacekeeping mission since their inception. So far, India has taken part in well over 43 peacekeeping missions around the world. And WION is on ground zero, exploring what it takes for the Indian Army personnel to serve in a foreign land. Now, WION is the only channel covering the Indian peacekeeping troops in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And also, how have the budget cuts hit the efforts to stabilize war-torn Congo? WION's political editor Kartikeya Sharma brings you more on this. He spoke with Rebecca Jones, who is in charge of those efforts. Take a look.
I'm joined by Rebecca Camp, a person who is in charge of the stabilization program, a program which ultimately starts by intervention of the United Nations Peacekeeping Forces, but boils down to the stabilization of the communities, which is the groundwork. What I really would like to know from you is how much different the budget cuts are making to your program.
So they do affect us, obviously. We're located in MONUSCO. We have an interesting position because as the Stabilization Support Unit, we work with programming that has its own fund by the donors, which is a bit more stable, you could say. And then we have the aspect where we're located in MONUSCO, and to function, we rely heavily on being able to reach the areas, etc., in close conjunction with and supported by escorts with military here in the mission. So, for instance, with the budget cuts came closing of particular COBs, our command operating bases. In Pinga specifically, it's in our priority zone where we have programming. So to reach there, to actually get there on the ground, to follow the programming as it's going on has been really difficult. It's incredibly difficult to access by road. So at the moment, you can't even access it by car. You have to go by helicopter. So the few opportunities we've had to get there have been by tagging onto missions that are going for other reasons, to kind of like reduce tensions, for joint protection, sort of monitoring missions and things like that, to go on the ground into the areas where we need to. But it's not a long-term sustainable way to reach Pinga. So for us, it really affects our programming a lot. It affects where we can reach, and it affects how we can actually do our follow-up.
Tell me, do you think that this is a result of rich or prosperous nation becoming insular? It's like a post-Trump, it's like a Trump's America, where the most powerful nation becomes insular, and it impacts a lot of multinational enterprises through the world?
Am I speaking now as a stabilization officer or as an individual? I've got lots of things to say about that. So as an individual, I would say there's always been a degree of insularity for countries that have a certain amount of economic power. And I think that once you have a change in administration that's so dramatic as the one with Trump, priorities shift very specifically. And we know that he's very critical of United Nations interventions, and that he's, a big reason why a lot of that money has disappeared. It's interesting because we also had certain members of the administration come and visit. We've had Ambassador Haley, for instance, come, and I think it's important to see it as a large administration where you have different people in their different capacities, advocating also for more economic and smart use of money. So for her visit, I felt like she was really trying to focus how we can move from a mission that's perhaps quite rangy and placed in a lot of a very vast range, and figure out how to economize and see how we're going to use those resources. So I don't want to make a sweeping statement. I could have lots of critical things to say about the administration as it is, but I'm in a bit of a unique position also personally because I'm a U.S. citizen, but I grew up here and I have 4 generations of family from the Congo. So I've seen kind of on both sides how things function here over a long view and also in the U.S.